This lesson is going to be an overview of 7 core techniques that you need for metal. So let's start with the first one, and the first one is down picking, which just means that you're only doing downstrokes when you play. Okay, so this is very commonly used. The sound you get is way more consistent in volume, because if I just do a simple chug on the guitar like this, if I do it this way with alternate picking, it doesn't sound nearly as heavy as if I do this. So when I do down picking, just gravity helps me just to like really get heavy here. So the second one, if we stay on a chuggy part like this, is gonna be palm muting. So palm muting is extremely important in metal because, again, it's just another tool to help you sound heavier. For palm muting, remember the key is to really find the sweet spot on your guitar. If I'm too close to my neck here, it's gonna be way too muted and you're not gonna hear the pitch again. And if I'm too much to my right here, next to my bridge pickup, it's gonna be too open. So you really want a nice middle point here, so that it sounds tight and heavy, but you can still hear what notes you're playing. It's always good to alternate between open chords or open notes and muting, just to create some contrast in your riffs. So the example was... So here I'm really using palm muting to just make your riff like tighter and heavier. That's really the key word here, heavier, because it's metal. Okay, so technique number 3, if we keep building on this, would be endurance training. Because if you play a song that has a lot of palm muted down picking notes, you will get tired pretty quickly if you're not used to this technique, because it's really demanding for your right hand to do this for like a few minutes, especially if it's really fast. This is gonna be like really demanding for your right hand. So to build this up, you can just, use a simple metronome or a simple drum beat and try to find your maximum speed that you can play these chug notes in a clean way. And then just put a timer on and try to reach to 30 seconds and then reach 1 minute and really try to push your endurance with this, basically, like how long you can keep that going for. The 4th core technique would be string skipping. It's really useful when you write riffs and also for lead playing, but if we say in the context of rhythm guitar, if you want to play riffs, for example, like this. So every time you want to do octaves, which is, again, like really, really common in metal riffs, you're going to have to skip at least one string, sometimes more. So it's a very good technique to develop. And again, if I just play the quick riff, I just play here. And if I go back to the little riff I've just played, you can see I'm already using 3 out of the 4 techniques I've used. Palm muting, down picking, and string skipping as well. So the next one is speed building. Very often metal is a difficult type of music to play because it involves very high tempo sometimes. So it's very important for you to develop your speed. There's a few exercises for that, but the key to get to a good speed is really to practice a little bit every day and try to not skip a day, because it's a lot about muscle memory and really just like strength building. And always practice with a metronome as well, and make sure you don't try to push the speed before you get to a good clean tone, because otherwise it's just gonna get messy. So the next one is legato, and legato just means smooth playing, meaning that instead of picking every single note, you use hammer-ons and pull-offs to play like in a smoother way. And the final one, number 7, is learning to control high gain, because metal is a style that uses loads of high gain and distortion, which might be hard to control at first if you've learned to play guitar with a very clean tone, just because distortion just amplifies whatever noise the strings are making. And also when you just when you move your hands across the fretboard, all of this is going to be amplified with distortion. So it's really important for you to master the micro muting techniques. For example, when you play any type of chord using, for example, 3 fingers, you're gonna use the rest of your hand and the rest of your fingers to really mute the strings that you don't want to hear, and that's how you get a cleaner sound, basically. But all of this is going to be harder when you have the more distortion you have. So when you want to learn to control high gain, you can start with just an overdriven sound, like without too much gain, so that you can use to the sound and to the amount of distortion. And then once that feels okay for you to control, you can gradually just put more distortion until you reach a very distorted sound. Okay, so that was just a brief overview of 7 core techniques that you need for metal guitar playing. If anything seems like it's lacking in your playing, you can always check out the Guitar Club and the write-up, and you're gonna find loads of exercises and courses to really master each individual technique.